Hey, everybody! Long time no see.
Been a
Oh
hot
man,
minute.
not only am I happy to be back, but I was happy to watch some racing. It was finally back to be for all of us to be back. It was finally time. So, of course, I am here and you guys got to see we launched our own social media channels since we were back. And you can see that Adam is here and he's not going anywhere. So you got Adam and myself if you're going to hang out with us from now on.
I might be
So,
a
like,
novice, but I'm learning fast.
officially, I guess, welcome Adam, just because we haven't really said that on here.
Thank you.
And listen, we're trying. Adam and I are trying, and kind of like I said, if you guys follow me on TikTok, I was like, Adam is kind of new to this, but he is a true enthusiast. So I think he offers a really awesome perspective of like the sport on itself. You could probably consider me an old head given how long I've been a part of this since like a couple of weeks old. It's always good to have perspective. So this is a lot of fun. We've been having so much fun off scenes lately too. So um we've got to discuss everything about Brainerd, which is what we just watched this weekend, right? And it was not for lack of news. There was a lot going on. A lot going on. What was your favorite, either before or after Brainerd?
Oh man. Well, going into it, just being back at the track,
Yeah,
it felt longer than 3 weeks. Even with having the Night of Fire, it still that feels like that was ancient history.
right.
With Ron and Maddie with their fantastic duel, the Battle of the Nitro cars. But still, it was just really good to get back into the swing of things as we start chopping away. We're now one race away from the countdown. It is now or never, especially in
Yeah,
funny car. It is anybody's race coming up in a few weeks at Indy. Probably
absolutely.
the storyline was, and it's really not a storyline. It's what we've all come to predict now is just the dominance of Coletta Motorsports with now leading the charge, having a complete
Yeah.
week.
Well, and you said it's something we probably could have predicted, but I don't think I would have predicted the switch in performance between Sean Langdon and Doug Coletta. We really saw that dominant performance first half of the regular season coming from Sean, and in fact, Sean was still leading the points going into Brainerd. Doug overtook that with this win in Brainerd, which I think they're like literally 5 points apart. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so close between the two of them, but he had, and that was one of my points for today here, he had absolute dominance this weekend. It was insane. And let's just pull up the ladder quick here so we can take a look at that and talk about it. So as you can see here, he obviously was the event winner, but very notably swept Brainerd, getting the axe, which was kind of the monumental I don't know, gift for that weekend, for lack of a better term. He got the number one qualifier, and then obviously you saw he got the Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty win on top of an event win. Can you write it? Can you hope it goes any better than that?
If there's script writers in the world of drag racing, they totally nailed it with this.
Yeah.
I come from football where everybody the laughing joke is, oh, the script writers don't have that in the plan. Well, this
Yeah.
almost felt like this was a script writers galore. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that would have taken Doug Coletta out of this weekend is Maddie Gordon's enthusiastic swing with the axe when she was atop during Q2, but then
Yeah.
he quickly tamed her down and was able to grab the battle axe from her. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think that would have been the only thing is taking a chop from Maddie.
And honestly, looking at this ladder, it was like it was a storybook weekend for Top Fuel. First of all, you had number one and number two qualifiers duking it out at the end of the ladder. That is what I mean. We want to see. I'm a big underdog fan, but like, what if our ladders for, if not for the number one and two qualifier, to end up racing each other? Like that is what you're looking for, right? And not to mention, look at those round two elim numbers there. 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 3 and 6. I mean, this is exactly how it was supposed to be written. Maybe minus Clay Milliken sneaking past Billy Barnes, but
Uh,
otherwise,
the round between them, I mean, I really thought Billy was going to, I think actually in my bracket, I had Billy advancing. So I thought that was
yeah,
really a true 50-50 toss up. But having
yeah,
Clay at 13 still it feels a bit odd with him being that low on the ladder.
Yeah.
But any day, any given day for anyone.
Yeah, definitely not typical, I would say, for his team. Maybe his performance hasn't been completely on par the last like two events that we've had, but he's had a pretty good performance all year. I also want to talk about our number 6 seed, Leah. Huge mile per hour this weekend at 341. That's a new mile per hour record for her in her career.
That made me literally take pause before I screamed out in excitement. When I saw the number pop up, I couldn't believe it. I thought, wait a minute, it's not a Coletta car. We're going 340 plus with other cars now. What?
Right.
No, this doesn't make sense. And it was Leah, and I surely was excited to see all that.
Yeah, and we're going to have a little clip coming out later on this week, but if you guys have watched the interview I was able to do with her, it is a long one, but I'm telling you every minute is worth it. She's not only got incredible insight on parenting, but incredible insight even further on what her team has been doing and what to expect from her team going into the countdown, which I think we are almost countdown time, so super interesting to listen to that. But at one point in the interview, she told me that they were coming out with this new combo. They probably weren't going to try until post Indy, but they've been testing it a little bit in qualifying. But she explicitly told me in this snippet here to not expect big mile per hour, but to more expect consistency and like big ET. So the genuine shock that I think me, her crew chief, and herself at the top end saw with that was probably genuine, given what she had expressed to me just a couple of weeks ago.
Sometimes racers play things close to the chest, and they might not tell the full truth. This might have been one of those cases.
Maybe, or maybe the conditions and everything went way better than they thought, and they went, "Oh, well,
That's
maybe
actually
we've got
something.
another penny in our pocket."
Yeah, I was going to say the weather for
Mhm.
racing was fantastic, like almost the
Yeah.
perfect amount of grip for everyone.
Which
You
was
it
wild
really,
considering Friday, or maybe it was Thursday, it absolutely monsooned there and was
yes,
looking mildly bleak.
it was not looking great at all Thursday, but sure enough, it turned out really, really great. One of the biggest parties of the season. And apparently, people were really tearing it up too in the what is it, the village, the campground,
The zoo.
the zoo. Thank you, the zoo. I'm sorry, I'm a real fan. I'm not a poser. I'm learning. I'm learning. Forgive me.
I'm gonna tell Ron next time he comes on that you don't remember what it was, because that's his jam, that's his country. So I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, if I'm repping the stuff over here, I gotta know it's the zoo, the
It's the
zoo, the zoo.
zoo. Maybe by next year we'll have it down.
Yes,
Adam's first time at Brainerd. It's okay.
yes.
Hey, but besides Top Fuel, I do want to talk about one other thing because I know you mentioned it a little bit in the beginning here, and I think it is like we cannot look past it. That's the funny car field. I know when we even talked to Matt Hagan earlier this year, we said even at that point, like, this is anybody's game. I mean, it was that close back then. At this point, there are like the top four drivers, I think, are within like 100 points of each other. And one note I wanted to make on this weekend, which I think was absolutely crazy, was the struggles with staying off of the center line. We had both Jack Beckman and Ron Capps not advance past round one for the same exact reason.
It truly was an anomaly for guys who are absolutely seasoned veterans, if not more than well, actually, they are more than veterans. Some are Hall of Famers already, top
Right.
75 drivers of all time, and making small little mistakes ends up costing you advancing to the next round. It shows you that within that 4 second span, anything can happen. It's not just about mashing the gas and going like hell. There's a lot more to it.
Absolutely. And, I think that's a testament to the difficulty it is to drive one of these things. It isn't just, oh, you go in a straight line or blah, blah, blah. I will guarantee you, if you talk to either one of those drivers today, they would tell you inexplicably different. The defeat was obvious for Ron Capps and Jack Beckman in their top end interviews. And to be truthfully honest with you, it cost Jack Beckman a spot in the points. He's down to number 5 now, and it cost the top spot to Ron Capps. He's now number 3. He has dropped 2 spots, mind you. Jordan Vandergriff is only 7 back from Matt Hagan, and Ron Capps is only 12 back from Jordan Vandergriff. But if we're looking at the rest of them, they have drivers and teams nipping at their heels. J.R. Todd is 22 back from Matt Hagan. He's 10 back from Ron. Jack Beckman is 74 back from Matt Hagan, not too, just a couple of rounds back from Ron. I mean, any mistakes like those going into the countdown, I know that we'll kind of get a wash here with the points and stuff, but they could be, ending your championship contention. So it's
Yeah.
becoming a big deal at this point.
And I guess I'll use a term that we use in stock car racing a lot. I'd rather get out my hiccups before the playoffs start, or the
Yeah.
championship starts, or the chase starts, or whatever format your series has. Make those stupid mistakes, itty bitty ones or major ones, before it really counts. Because after Indy, you got six events to prove yourself. And if you don't prove yourself, you're going to be out really fast.
And honestly, this is probably a little bit of a wake up call for the drivers and teams because Indy is points and a half. I mean, Indy
Yes.
is a large deal. And we saw, just to revert back to Top Fuel here for a moment, we saw that Doug Coletta did clench the Too Fast, Too Tasty championship for the year already in Brainerd. So it's not just a regular season champion. You've got the Too Fast, Too Tasty challenge, which Ron has been a part of many times and in contention for. And then we also have just the world champion at the end of the year as well. So there are a lot of things, which I think is great. I love adding all this stuff, but there's so many things you have to remember that you're working for besides just the world championship.
Yep. Absolutely.
Let's see. So we also had two things I want to note about that specific instance with the center line. We saw Bobby Bodie move on, which I think is fantastic. I love that team. They're kind of localish to us, and there is a little bit of Brainerd magic with Bobby Bodie's team. And he was like, if J.R. Todd was a different driver, if J.R. Todd was potentially Ron Capps or Jack Beckman in that round over driving, he loses that round. I mean, Bobby Bodie was incrementally right alongside him the entire time. So I was happy to see that team out. And I was kind of hoping for a little more Brainerd magic to see them go a little further. He's only been to one final round in his career. And for historians, you know that that's where his dad got his first and only win, in Nitro Funny Car against Jack Beckman. So it was kind of cool. I watched the top end interview where J.R. Todd said he needs a full-time ride. He's a great driver. We've seen Tony Stewart give him accolades. Matt Hagan did. So that was really cool to watch. But um, moving right along to pro stock
They
because
kept them true too with their last round that he was in. I mean, it wasn't
yeah,
like he just laid down and let them beat
no.
him. He gave it all he could.
And J.R. Todd's crew chief in the interview in the starting line after that round win even said, we knew we couldn't just go out there and lob one thinking they were easy, but my gosh, I didn't think it was going to be that close, So it really it's a testament to that crew, and that's like a family team. So that's
Yeah.
really awesome to see, and I hope we can see him out more. I know that's not what the full-time drivers and teams want to hear, especially going into the countdown. He could end a day or a championship for somebody, but
Competition.
it's exciting to watch.
It sure is. It makes it a lot more fun for us.
It's exciting to watch. It keeps us on the edge of our seat, that's for sure.
Nobody wants a
Um,
cakewalk. Everybody wants a little competition.
and everybody loves an underdog story.
Yeah.
You can't tell me there's one person that, like, no matter who they line up against, that would say, I don't want Bobby Bodie to win. I mean, that would be just what a good storyline, what a great feel good story.
Heck, we almost had one this weekend in Pro Stock.
Yeah, Chris Vang. I mean, Chris Vang and Cody Anderson both advancing to the rounds that they were respectively going to on whole shot wins. Chris Vang getting his very first final. And let's not forget Jeggy taking out Dallas Glenn on a whole shot win in round 1. 16 versus 1 seed. It was incredible. It was electric.
It totally destroyed my bracket instantaneous. I
Yeah.
went from having maybe a mere 6 which for you folks out there, I got to do my homework on Pro Stock apparently, because the last 2 events I've scored big old goose eggs for points. Yeah, the David versus Goliath. Essentially, Jake did not have a great Friday or Saturday, but like we say, point A to point B, any given run, they got the rundown smoothly and knocked down the
Yeah.
big guy.
And frankly, it wasn't even just a point A to point B run because he got him on a hole shot. So that was
Yeah,
like he
I mean
just
that.
flat out was the better driver in that
Yeah,
situation. And that, I mean, that's kind of sting, but they call him Double O Dallas for a reason. So it's not like he's a slump by any means. Jackie just happened to get him on that. And let's not let it slide by us here that every single pro stock car you're seeing on the ladder that competed this weekend was on the same chassis. So Team Elite had switched completely over from their previous builder to Jerry Haas because Greg Stanfield was running a Jerry Haas car. Greg Stanfield has obviously had success this year. So every Elite car that you see on this list, Erica Enders, Jake Coughlin Jr., Troy Coughlin Jr., Aaron Stanfield, they are all now also in a Jerry Haas built chassis. Don't know how well that fared out for some of them, but I think for most of them, it looked to be an improvement. I mean, Greg Stanfield going to another semifinal round. Everybody advancing out of round one minus Erica Enders, who lost on a hole shot. So again, in that situation, it really is just probably driver. I'm assuming horsepower may have been there, given if there was a better reaction time. So very interesting weekend for Pro Stock.
and I think it'll come around for them once you get used to the car. Obviously, since Greg has been the only one prior to this past weekend running the, you said it was a Haas car, right?
Yep.
Yep. Since he was the only one running it, he's more familiar with how the car feels, and it's little itty bitty trinkets of knowledge with it. Everyone else, they'll catch up, I believe.
Yeah, and I believe it was either Friday or Saturday. I was watching qualifying. I should have noted it. That's my bad. But Erica was doing a top end interview. It must have been Friday because at that point, four
Friday.
cars hadn't ran in qualifying, like Matt Hartford and stuff like that. So um, she made a really great pass. I think she went up to either number 2 or number 4 qualifier, and she said that was only her second full pass in that car since they've had it. So
Wow.
obviously, I think you're correct there that things will start coming around. The only one who's got time on that car would be Greg, and his performance is obviously standing out. So I would not doubt that the remainder of those cars in that camp will see the same.
I guess we kind of do need to give a shout out though to Matt Hartford for even competing this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Something medical about I believe Jason Galvin said something about a blockage in his esophagus.
Yeah, I believe he didn't. His esophagus was not giving him the invitation,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then it finally did.
yeah. And so he actually needed medical attention, was at the track during the qualifier, but obviously not in a condition to run. So, and he still ended up number 4 qualifier. So, yeah, incredible to see. So, honestly, I have a lot of great things we can cover sportsman wise. Also want to mention some other things like our bracket, but um, what else do we have pro classes and Nitro that we want to discuss? Those are my notes I had that I was like, I need to write these down while I'm
uh,
watching.
I mean, I guess Maddie the Baddie has cemented herself as a legitimate threat now going into the championship rounds. Uh,
Yeah.
she had, if anyone could have another perfect weekend, it would be Maddie. Maddie had pretty much a flawless, what she said, her own personal record for ET. Was it a
Yeah.
what was it 3.6? It was 3.6 something. So she finally got
Probably a
into
9, but
yeah. I didn't want to do the cliche 369. You know,
well,
us millennials.
yeah, we get it.
Yeah. But no, Maddie being able to achieve her fastest ET over the weekend, also broke 340 to join
Yeah.
our other girly pop, Miss Leah. So like, just girl power.
Which
It's there.
I just want to say also because I had it in my note about Leah and I did not mention it. They both have had great reaction times.
Yes.
Leah in our interview as well, where I sat down and talked with her, was saying like, drivers just kind of like gotta turn it around now. The driver's got to figure it out. A lot of that's on me. And I mean, let's be real. Her reaction times were not super fantastic at the beginning of the season. She's come around to like '06 and '07s, which by the way is not easy to do. She's beating herself up on that because you got Justin Ashley's that are like bionic and can do '02s and '03s. I mean, but she was doing an incredible job. Her last round, which was that semifinal against Maddie, she did an '03. I mean, she was right there on performance too. So the both of those girls have had really good reaction times that anybody who's lining up against them should probably be scared. Like if you're looking at this ladder, Will Smith also had a career best run against Leah, but
Hey,
her performance and reaction time.
couple things. Skag Racing, they had a pretty decent weekend compared to what they have had.
Yes.
They've been able to get their cars down the track. I think
Yeah,
that had
we're
a lot to
stable.
do with track conditions, but still, they're finally stepping and fetching. Back to Maddie, I think it was the event or at Night of Fire, that's really what sparked her to fix and work on her reaction times. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly from what the broadcast said and from what she's mentioned on social media, is that really irked her that she lost because her reaction time was not the best at that. Oh, and
Yeah.
also Justin Ashley, cockpitless.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No
That
canopy
was a
car.
major storyline.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. First, Drag Racing Mayhem, thank you for that stat. I also would like I just want to say like she kind of beat herself up when I was talking to her about that. And I'm like, an oh 07 is really not that bad. I mean, there are probably some older guys in that class that would love to cut an oh 06 or an oh 07 light at this point, right? I think even if you talk to Tony Stewart when he first was getting, full time in his in the car while Leah was out, he probably would have hoped he was cutting lights like that too. Um, but yeah, no canopy car for him. I think it's interesting given that the Coletta cars are the only really not canopy cars and they're on top. Um, I don't know if maybe that had any decision making because I don't know. It didn't sound like from what the broadcasters were saying that there was any issue other than that it just has a different aerodynamic and weight management. And maybe that's just preferred. I mean, like you and I were discussing when we were texting about Justin's been in Top Alcohol Dragster. He's been driving Top Fuel Dragster. So it's not that he hasn't been in a canopy car. It was just kind of the big move for everybody at one point a couple seasons ago.
I mean, in a game of literal inches and seconds, any little advantage, I think they said it took 25 pounds of downforce off the car or something. It took
Right.
25 pounds of weight away from the car. And I think it worked. They made it to the semis. They had a
Yeah.
pretty decent weekend overall. I wouldn't be surprised if we
Yeah.
see a few more canopies coming off for Indy.
Um, we're gonna talk about Drag Racing Mayhem's comment about Leah here. Her last few races have been a massive improvement. I'll have to get her first half versus her current half. That would be excellent, and I guarantee you that is a stat people are going to want to see because it was a talk when she was coming back. It's been obvious her attitude is hungry, she's motivated, but that was, truthfully her downfall because her car has always been performing well. It even complimented her in our interview about how her team has come out of the gate and had success very early on. And she said, thank you, because not a lot of people have seen it that way. And I said, well, I think it's been very obvious. But her, of course, one critique was that she was not where she wanted to be coming back. So that would be a great stat to have. But yeah, I think there's one person, maybe two teams, I will say, that I don't think are going to come out of a canopy car. And they were the first ones to go to a canopy car. And that was probably Leah. And I don't think Tony will either, given the correlations they have with their teams. My only, and that's just a theory. I don't know any insight. I know I totally just had an interview with her. I have zero insight. The canopy was not even discussed in our interview. Our interview was posted online in full with just cuts of, in between silence. But, the reason I say that is because of her horrific crash that she had in St. Louis when her body broke in half and she really was just in the capsule. It broke right at the tip of the capsule there. That's what kept her safe. She got out of it almost immediately. I would probably say anybody who's been through something like that, which we haven't seen a blowover in Top Fuel specifically like that in quite a long time. We have in Top Alcohol with Jasmine, obviously. I could say going through that, she probably would not be super interested in being in an open car. But drivers in this class have been through something similar, horrific crashes with an open car, like Antron Brown was in a really notably horrific one before capsule cars were even a thing. Um, so if there's a definitive performance difference that comes out, maybe. But I would definitely say those two cars. I don't think unless it comes out, we're going to see a change from them, just given the history.
It'll be fun to
Yeah.
see.
It would be fun. I mean, wouldn't it be interesting, like Drag Racing Mayhem just said when he took the canopy off, to see like an 8-and-8 car field with capsule cars and open cars. And I like the capsule cars. As somebody who drives a dragster, I kind of get it. And there probably is a little bit of the safety comfort too, like especially with somebody like Leah who's gone through something horrific like that. Um, but doesn't add. I think a lot of the crowd, even like stock car Adam, you can probably talk to this, is like a little nostalgic of racing. You know, we're liking those old prints on t-shirts. We're liking the old schemes, the throwbacks, and things like that. We're bringing hood scoops
I look at my
to
old
stock.
diecast for dragsters, and they're all open. I don't have a closed
Yes.
cockpit one.
No.
I know one person that he bought the Brittany Force HendrickCars.com one. It's cool, but
Yeah.
I'd rather have an open one.
Yeah. So I think if we're like going back to the age of like nostalgia and liking that kind of stuff, I could see people going back, especially if there's a performance advantage. I mean,
Mhm.
if you have more tune-ups with an open car that are putting down performance on the track than you do closed, I mean, why wouldn't you go back and try
Yeah.
it?
Hey, it's worth a shot.
L-
Anything for an
Yeah,
inch, anything for a millisecond.
especially for a world championship. And if you are in a, I mean, funny car is a different field right
Yeah.
now because they're so close. But in top fuel, if I'm Leah and I'm that close, or if I'm Maddie and I'm close, to that top spot, who else do we have? We have Antron Brown. Um, I might be thinking about it. You never know. But great stat here from Drag Racing Mayhem. Gainesville through Maryland went from an O2 to MIR is an O2, from Epping is now in O7. So I mean, that
That's
is
big.
winning races.
Yeah.
That's winning races because incrementally she is that close to those Coletta cars. That is winning rounds just there alone.
And that's really when her season started to turn back upward. It kind of was
Yeah.
even. Then it started to tick upward with those slower
Yeah.
EQs. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Her
It's crazy how
performance has
fast.
always been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm honestly shocked the canopy cars haven't been mandated like the Halo and F1 or the Aeroscreen and IndyCar.
That's
So
a good point. But the thing
hmm,
is, though, with even a top field dragster, you kind of already have like an aero screen. I don't
yeah.
know if it's
Yeah.
reinforced like the IndyCar one, but I mean, this I guess would
So
be
my
more.
question for both of you guys then is the Halo or the Aeroscreen for performance or is it for safety? Why is it mandated? Because I don't
It,
know enough about anything open wheel, let alone those two.
it's mandated for safety.
Okay.
But it did change a little bit of the aerodynamics with IndyCar. Not so much with F1 because F1 uses the halo and it's open. There is no actual screen that's blocking the view. It's
Sure.
just aesthetically kind of ugly, but it'll never go away. If anything, the next step for a Formula One car would be something similar to the aero screen that IndyCar uses. But that's just something that is
Yeah.
it's a proven safety feature that will never disappear from any form of open wheel racing now.
So those, for the both of you, those have been implemented because there's been incidents that have happened due to those not being in, right?
Yes, yes, and
Okay. So
actually
my
they were
my
fatalities.
argument. Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
see. Okay, so racing and drag racing is the same way. We really are as proactive as possible, but we have to be reactive with incidents like that. I cannot tell you. I wish I had it. Maybe I'll try to pull it up here. I forgot my iPad today, so I don't have my notes. I only have my phone. But I don't know the last time we had a fatality in the pro class, like Nitro wise, even. It's been a while from an
it
on track incident.
yeah. Was it Scott Coletta? Was he the last one? Was that 07?
He drove. Was his in a dragster or was it a funny car? He
It was
drove
a
funny
funny car.
car, I think.
Dragster would be. It wasn't Blaine.
It wasn't Blaine because that was too long ago, I feel.
Yeah,
We
that
might
was
have to look it up, but
30.
my argument for this, like, correlation between the two is that okay, Drag Racing Mayhem popped in, he said 2008 Scott Coletta, but Drag Racing Mayhem, was Scott Coletta in a funny car?
He
Nitro
was in a funny
regardless,
car.
of course.
I,
Yes.
I do know he was in a funny car. I recall that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm thinking about the last dragster one, and I'm only asking because if the F1 and the IndyCar ones are reactive to fatalities, um, is the safety cap still a safety capsule? Is the capsule for safety, or is it for aerodynamics plus safety? Because when was the last time we had an open car fatality? Drakesville, I think, is Daryl Russell. Huh.
Hmm. That was a while ago still.
That one did not pique my brain at all in this discussion. So very interesting. Coletta was funny car, yeah. So funny car, obviously there's been changes made, the body tethers, etc. The thing I'm thinking is the difference between the canopy cars and the open cars in Dragster, because really, was it just like a preference? I would love to kind of know a little bit more about it, because if that's the case, if they think it was like more aerodynamic, if it did make cars lighter, like we heard that the other ones make them a little heavier in the weight distribution, I'd be interested, because the only reason I would say, to Drag Racing Mayhem's point of he's surprised that they're not mandated yet, is if it's not for a safety reason, if it's really just a preference. I could see why they wouldn't mandate it then.
And it's an interesting discussion. But
Russell was
also though,
2004.
with NHRA and with the safety, I mean, if you have an open cockpit, you're already pretty much nestled in. You're not going anywhere.
No, no,
And it's going to
no.
be difficult for a lot of things to even come in the little aero screen that you already have. I mean, you're
Hmm.
encapsulated in the cockpit.
And I don't know if there was a 2004 Russell. When did we have a Hans device implemented? When did we have, because now we've got more, like we have 7-point harnesses. We went from 6 to 7 to even more. We have more fire retardant gear that drivers have to wear, more layers. We have Hans devices. So there's a lot of reactive things, but are any of them because of an open cockpit car? Is any of those the reasons? Or, you know what I mean? Like, if that was the argument, I think then they would mandate it. But if it's not, there's been drivers like Clay Milliken. I mean, he's in a canopy car now, but he never was. I think the only reason they made the switch was because of tuning. If Tony has a capsule car, the tune-ups are probably not going to be the same in an open car. Gosh, there's other. Well, Billy Torrance still has an open car. I don't think that team has ever, even with Steve driving, has
Sean
ever
Reed,
gone
I
to
think, has an
that.
open car too.
Correct, Sean
Even
Reed.
after his big incident last year that he lost a digit with.
Yeah. Which again, would that be because of a canopy car? If he had a canopy, would that have happened? I mean, I think there's a lot of argument of like we can't mandate it because nothing has proven that we needed to. It just seems to be a
Right.
preference at this point. So,
Good discussion.
Russell was, yeah, very interesting. Russell was the reason for the metal behind the cockpit. I'm not exactly familiar on it, but I think something came through the back. Like a
Just
burst
trap
plate or
colors on
panel
it.
potentially. Yeah, yeah. Those are literal bombs. Those motors are literal bombs. So I could
Yeah.
see why they would implement that, and that does make sense in hindsight. But I'm sure we have a lot more explosions now, given you know people
Pushing
are
the
pushing it
limits.
to the limit, than we did before. So yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. Uh, what else did you have? What else
Uh,
were your notes? What did you
man,
see this weekend?
I said most of them. I mean, funny car once again. That's where it's at. It's anybody's game.
So fun to
Yeah,
watch.
it truly is one of the best seasons to be a funny car fan. Not
Yeah,
so much if you're a Top Fuel fan. I mean, you know, you can see the rest of the cream trying to rise to the top, but the cream that's already at the top is boiled over and it's already in championship form. So trying to play third
yeah,
best now, it's kind of. I think everybody's going to be ready for that reset to see. All right, are these guys really for real?
absolutely.
Are they still going to be the target that we're aiming for, or are we going to just somehow be
Yeah,
able to knock them out completely?
yeah, yeah. There's going to be a lot of teams like the Maddie Gordons, like the Leah Pruitts, like the Antron Browns, that I think are going to be pushing as hard as they can, which is, again, we're talking about explosions and things like that. Hopefully, I know Leah's like, we're going as far as we can without that. I'm sure everybody else has the same mindset. But if I'm hearing that from her, and she's been consistently number 3 in points, we have Maddie in 4, Antron Brown, Tony Stewart even right there. And by right there, I mean like he's 250 points back right now. But if it resets and we're still, they have legitimate shots. They have been teams that have been also consistent. So I think we're going to see people pushing the envelope there in the championship
Definitely,
countdown.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I've got some sportsman notes, and Adam, you know some of these. So I don't have my graphic today. We're gonna talk about them. I'm behind on the ball. I'm excited to be back, but I'm not prepared. First one, which we actually shared news about this, and we were both pretty fired up to watch. On the Coletta train, Mitch Coletta making his debut in top alcohol dragster at Brainerd with the Randy Meyer Racing team. I think he ended up qualified like number 4, I want to say. Um, and ends up losing in round 2. But what an insane performance from him this weekend. He did not have a reaction time that was slower than like in 02. He was pretty consistently 017, 018. Insane. Round 2 loss on a perfect light. Perfect light. He couldn't have tried any harder.
If you
Insane.
try any harder, you're going to screw it up easily.
Yeah, he was like a whisper away from a red light, and he still got outran. So he quite literally did. And by the way, he got outran by Anthony Troyer, who went on to win the event and also ran like a career best run that time. So it was pretty obvious they knew the performance they were up against with the Randy Meyer Racing team and what they needed to do to make that. But what a good weekend. I mean, I just got an email from the Randy Meyer team in their newsletter. He will be racing a regional event in Bowling Green, Kentucky next. I don't know if we're going to see him at Indy, but I would be really curious to see the results of him being there as well because I don't know, kid, he's got it. He won the Super Pro category at the World Series of Pro Mod. He went on to do this here. I would just argue, like, man, be scared of that guy.
Oh boy, another Coletta.
Yeah. Oh, another Coletta that's really good at drag
Oh,
racing.
oh
Yee.
joy! Here goes another 30 years. No, actually,
And listen, we don't know any insight, but are we thinking he's gonna join his dad? Is he gonna replace his dad? What are we thinking this is for?
oh no, maybe another dragster. Maybe
Ah.
maybe Sean Langdon gets
Mm.
tired of playing second fiddle to Doug. Now all of a sudden, I don't know. Silly season's right around the corner. It's definitely going to start kicking on all burners either next week or after Indy. Anything's possible. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not going to happen next year with him. He literally just started in top
no.
alcohol. But the long-term plan,
Yeah,
you never know. He could be the heir apparent to Doug, or he could be the heir
yeah,
apparent to Sean if Sean decides to take his services elsewhere. You never know.
yeah, yeah. So my thoughts are I don't think Sean is anywhere near leaving. He is the only thing I could think he would do is like be sick of the pro stuff and go back to bracket racing because I know he does a lot of that on the side. He's very, very good at it. That's kind of like his bread and butter. But he's also very good at top fuel. So, and he's got a great relationship with his team. So, like, why would you go anywhere? But Doug, holy crap, is on top right now. Why would he want to go anywhere either? But you're completely right. I think we will see at least a couple of years of him campaigning in top alcohol. Or maybe even super comp top drakes or something to just keep getting that seat time and experience. Randy Meyer's been putting out great videos about that. He was speaking about getting to run against other people. He made mistakes that we didn't even get to see in the wheel. That's kind of like procedural. So he's got to get a lot of that down. But yeah, I could definitely see him filling in for Doug, and we have a great theory here from Drag Racing Mayhem. I think he replaces Doug, and Melanie replaces Langdon behind
Oh,
Myers.
uh,
Hmm.
we're really lining up the stars for the future.
To be fair, they're both excellent in the top alcohol category so far, but they're both very new. This is Melanie's
Yes.
first full season. She did get to drive last season. She has a Wally, of course, but look at how long Jasmine was in the top alcohol ranks racing before coming up. I think that that's really needed. And even she said she moved up too fast, and that was just circumstantial. So, um, I think we'll see them there for a couple of years. I think it's safe to say right now we're not going to see a lot of change, but I hope Mitch stays with Randy Meyer because that's a really good team in those ranks, and they've got really experienced drivers, and he'll be really good there. So that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. The
Drag
future of the
Racing Mayhem
sport is
stole.
in good hands.
Oh my god, so good. And that is a great segue to the Dell's alcohol car stole the show. And I
Oh,
will tell
oh
you
my
that was in my notes literally next. Dell Worsham, if you didn't see it, debuted a nitro burning supercharged top alcohol funny car, hitting a big historical mile per hour of 291 miles an hour. The thing I love the most about this is Joe Costello got to interview Dell, look at the car. It's up on the Nature YouTube channel. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's excellent. It goes through kind of what Dell went to NHR and kind of begged for this combo to be with some others to be something. And the reason is to get people, kids, for lack of a better term, or people, set up to run in the Mission Food Series. We were kind of texting over the weekend about how Dragster is kind of 1 to 1, not quite, but from alcohol to top fuel, we've heard it's pretty similar from drivers. Funny car usually really is not, or funny car to dragster really is not in the alcohol ranks. So this would be an opportunity for people who want to go do the big show stuff, who want to be in the big car stuff, as Joe was calling it, to get that experience, have the exact same parts. I mean, Dell all weekend was saying, I just got to change a couple of things in this, and then I can go run Nitro Funny Car, in the pro classes. So this is giving teams who have the dream of doing that the opportunity to get their feet wet and run in the alcohol ranks before they're ready to go up. And I think that's super special and something we haven't seen in a really long time.
I like it. It's going to bring a whole new level of competition, new teams, new names, anything to help the sport out. I mean, look at me. I'm an enthusiast. I love what I'm watching, but I know that there's so much more that can be done to make more people want to go out and try to compete in the top level Mission Foods drag racing series, obviously, besides just doing
Yeah.
sportsman divisions. I mean, sportsman's great and all, but everybody wants to be at the pinnacle. It's kind of like NASCAR. You got the Truck Series, ARCA Series, the O'Reilly
Yeah.
Auto Parts Series. Everybody wants to make it to Cup one day. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
make it to IndyCar. Everybody wants to make it to Formula One. Everybody wants to everybody's already in NHRA. You just want to make it to the top. And I think that's a
Yeah.
great opportunity for a lot of people to possibly get their foot in the door, or at least,
Yeah.
make bigger fields. I like when we have to actually qualify because there's more than 16
Yeah.
cars that are entered. Having that
Yeah.
healthy competition, I mean, like what we're going to see in Indy, it's going to be bloated rosters for teams that are entered. We have more rounds of qualifying, points and a
Yep.
half. It just, I'm
Stakes are
excited.
higher.
I'm excited because this will be the first time I'm ever watching the U.S. Nats. So
Oh,
I am
what I would
I
do to reset my brain to watch it for the first time ever again.
I am hyped. I got a whole week and a half to wait, but I'm hyped up for it.
It is unlike anything, and I'll tell you, I saw some of the entry lists, and I'm excited for the car count. I do low key wish we could transport back to the 90s. I texted Adam yesterday, but I was going through some of my dad's files to find some pictures to post on his page. If you didn't know, my dad used to run Pro Stock in the day, and he told me that it said like, oh, it's him attempting to qualify in the 16 car field. And I'm like, oh, what were you, like 17? You're just knocking at the door. And he's like, I think there were 37 pro stocks trying to qualify at Indy that year, or 40. And I was like, 40? Is there even 40 NHRA pro stocks on the planet anymore?
Sheesh. Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
I love Indy for that reason too. But man, what I would do to just travel in time and get to witness that, because that had to be so special. So,
Definitely.
but yes, I'm bringing this up here from Drag Racing Mayhem. Right here, basically making alcohol a proper feeder. They leave and react way differently. Looking at Maddie's reaction times, take her half a season to adjust. Absolutely. Absolutely. And maybe she doesn't want to run Nitro Funny Car, but you are absolutely correct in the sense that she would have been able to maybe translate some of that over. And also, this is a great point by him too, because I know a couple of people who have said this. Some drivers want to stay in the alcohol, so you have their team saying they're not a feeder. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But there's people, and I just want to point this out, and this is like no shade, no tea. This is just legitimately facts. Randy Meyer Racing has two drivers who have said, I'm more than happy to be in alcohol. I have no desire to go to Top Fuel. I want to stay here if I'm going to be here. And that was both Megan Meyer and Rachel Meyer. They both were like, we're happy to be here. We have no desire to do it. But Justin Ashley drove for for Randy Meyer. So he obviously wanted to move up. there's been plenty of people who have driven for him, Bill Litton, that have moved into the Topville ranks. But yeah, he's absolutely correct there. There are people that are like, I'm good here. I just don't think that should throttle other people. Not to say that team is doing that by any means, but maybe there are some people who are traditionalists and they're like, don't overcrowd our stuff when we're happy being here and happy being in this place. But yeah, I think Dell's idea is great, and I'm excited to see what comes out of that. If any more teams will kind of start almost like a rent a car situation, maybe. Yeah. We'll fire through the last couple here before we give you guys all your night back. First thing I wanted to note as well, we're talking legends like Ron Capps and Jack Beckman earlier. Another legend, Angel Sampey, was back behind the wheel of a top alcohol dragster this weekend, going rounds, looking good. Qualifying didn't look super great, but they definitely turned it around. Like she was running like 580s and stuff, which is just absolutely abysmal for that class. So cool to see her turn it around and rounds. If you're not familiar, brothers, and they took the top alcohol dragster crown at the Night Under Fire in Norwalk. So glad to see that maybe some of that performance is translating into Angel's dragster as well. And one other note, because I think it is so cool and it's another girl. We need to talk about girls and celebrate them. Kendra Larson took home the top dragster win in Brainerd. She is 3 for 3 in national event final round appearances. That's a crazy stat. She's been to
That's
3 finals and she's won every single one.
that's insane. Batting 1,000, only doing 3 events.
Yeah.
Wow. 3 Diamond Wallies. Wow.
But she's had 3 final round appearances and she's walked away the winner in every single one. That's a crazy stat. Kudos to her and her husband because they do race together in different classes. I do want to note Brainerd had I think it was a double divisional the weekend before the national event for all of my Lucas Oil competitors, and she did like a massive wheelie. Like she was launched off the line looking at the sky. She's got a great video on her Facebook if you don't follow her. It was insane. She took her car, they picked up her car, sent it to get fixed, and then she came out this weekend and won in her class. I mean, hats off to them.
Burning a wheelie, old school.
I mean, she's a top dragster, so she's moving when she's driving and off the line, and I cannot even imagine what that felt like, what that looked like. Also the despair of knowing like, well, there goes my whole weekend. She ended up being able to drive in her husband's dragster for the divisional. They fixed her car, she got back in it, and then she wins the whole dang thing the next weekend. I mean, she did not get her.
Yep. She made it her you know what and took a full advantage.
Absolutely. But regardless, this was really a fun weekend to watch. I think I've come on here and said like, oh, it's kind of sucks to see the same people winning. I had a lot of fun watching Doug Coletta win this weekend. I may have taken my back-to-back race weekends for granted and learned my lesson this weekend. It was a really exciting race.
It absolutely was all around great racing, great action. It was the zoo was wild in a good way.
The zoo, you got it. Yes, we got it by the end of the day, and that's all that matters. Yeah, I'm excited for Indy. Like you said, we're gonna have a lot of stuff coming out. I think we're gonna see some people post Indy potentially getting some licenses, upgrading licenses, changing licenses. We're going to get, post indie testing for sure. So it's going to be really exciting here in the next coming weeks. We've had this 3-week break that kind of gave us all the itch, and now we're back, and it's going to be a lot of fun from here. So we will be back, certainly, especially after Indy to discuss it all. So thanks to everybody who came on. Thanks to everybody who followed on our new channels. That was a huge thing for us to do, and we're still grinding and pushing it to make sure everybody knows that we've got them. So thanks everybody for joining those. Thanks everybody for following. We can't stream to our Twitter or Facebook yet because we are a baby Facebook page, but before the end of the season we will be able to. So if you'd rather watch along there, give us like 27 days, and then we'll be able to. So yeah, I'm gonna send us out unless you have anything, Adam.
We are good to roll. A to B. Time to go tonight.
Yeah, time to go tonight. That's right. So we will see you all post indie, but just a reminder, make sure you join our league on Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. Our code is NN for NitroNation-ATYL for ATYL Media. That's right. Adam's reminding you the whole show.
Thank you, Taylor
Uh
Kitchen.
Thank you, Taylor. I need mine. I need to do something. Uh, I'll get one soon. And then don't forget we have our own socials. I know we've brought that up, but just in case you have been following our YouTube, since we've had our own YouTube here, we have our own Facebook page now, Twitter, and Instagram. So be sure to go there. We've been sharing a lot more news that we weren't sharing before, and it's a lot of fun. And we're hoping to bring you more content like that. So make sure you follow along. Otherwise, we'll see you after Indy. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.